Tariffs are taxes imposed on imported goods. They serve as a financial barrier, making foreign products more expensive and less attractive to consumers compared to domestic goods. This price increase can help local businesses thrive by reducing competition from abroad. They are a common tool used by governments to influence international trade. By adjusting tariff rates, governments can control the flow of goods into their country, encouraging or discouraging imports based on economic strategy. Tariffs make imported goods more expensive, aiming to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. This protection can be crucial for emerging industries that need time to develop and become competitive on a global scale. Throughout history, tariffs have been central to economic policy. They have been used not only to protect local industries but also to generate revenue for governments, funding public projects and services. From ancient times to the mercantilist era, they were a primary source of government revenue. In many cases, tariffs were the main way governments could fund their activities before the advent of modern taxation systems. In the modern globalized economy, tariffs remain relevant. Despite the rise of free trade agreements and international trade organizations, tariffs are still used as a tool to manage economic relationships between countries. They are used for various reasons, including safeguarding domestic jobs, promoting national industries, and addressing concerns like dumping. Dumping occurs when a country exports a product at a price lower than its market value, potentially harming the importing country's economy. However, the use of tariffs is often controversial. Critics argue that tariffs can lead to higher prices for consumers, reduce the variety of available goods, and provoke retaliatory measures from other countries. They can lead to trade wars, harm consumer welfare, and distort global trade patterns. Trade wars occur when countries retaliate against each other's tariffs, leading to a cycle of increasing trade barriers that can harm the global economy. Understanding tariffs is crucial in today's interconnected world. As global trade continues to evolve, the role of tariffs in shaping economic policies and international relations remains significant. Their impact extends beyond national borders, affecting businesses, consumers, and the global economic order. The decisions made by one country regarding tariffs can have ripple effects across the world, influencing global trade dynamics. This video explores the multifaceted role of tariffs, examining their mechanisms, impacts, and the ongoing debates surrounding their use. By understanding the complexities of tariffs, we can better navigate the challenges and opportunities of global trade. Tariffs work by increasing the price of imported goods. When a tariff is imposed, it acts as a tax on foreign products, making them more expensive than they would be otherwise. This price hike can discourage consumers from buying imported goods, thereby giving an edge to domestic products. This price increase makes domestic products more attractive to consumers. As a result, local businesses may see a boost in sales, which can lead to increased production and potentially more jobs within the country. The idea is to create a more favorable environment for domestic industries to thrive. Governments implement various types of tariffs, each with different mechanisms and effects. These can range from ad valorem tariffs, which are based on a percentage of the goods value, to specific tariffs, which are fixed amounts charged per unit. The choice of tariff type can depend on the government's economic strategy and policy goals. Ad valorem tariffs are levied as a percentage of the imported goods value. For example, a 10% ad valorem tariff on a $100 item would add $10 to its price. This type of tariff adjusts with the price of the good, making it flexible but also potentially more volatile. Specific tariffs, on the other hand, are fixed amounts charged per unit of the imported good. For instance, a specific tariff might add $5 to each unit of a product regardless of its price. This can provide more predictable revenue for the government but may not adjust well to price changes in the market. Governments choose the type and level of tariffs based on their policy objectives. These objectives can include protecting nascent industries, generating revenue, or even retaliating against unfair trade practices by other countries. For instance, protecting a nascent industry might involve higher tariffs than those aimed at generating revenue. By imposing higher tariffs, the government can shield young industries from international competition until they become strong enough to compete on their own. The application of tariffs can be complex. It involves not just economic calculations but also legal and administrative processes. Tariffs must be carefully designed to achieve their intended effects without causing undue harm to the economy. They are often subject to international trade agreements and negotiations. Countries must navigate a web of treaties and agreements that can limit their ability to impose tariffs. These agreements aim to promote fair trade and prevent trade wars. The World Trade Organization, or WTO, plays a significant role in regulating tariffs and promoting free trade. The WTO sets rules that member countries must follow, helping to ensure that tariffs are applied fairly and transparently. However, countries retain the right to impose tariffs under certain circumstances, such as safeguarding national security or public health. These exceptions allow governments to act in the best interest of their citizens, even if it means deviating from international trade norms. Tariffs directly influence global trade volumes. By raising import prices, they discourage consumption of foreign goods. This leads to a decrease in imports. Conversely, tariffs can stimulate domestic production. As imported goods become more expensive, domestic producers may see an increase in demand for their products. However, the impact of tariffs on trade is not always straightforward. Retaliatory tariffs by trading partners can offset any initial gains. If a country imposes tariffs on goods from another country, the affected country might retaliate with tariffs of its own. This can lead to a trade war, where both countries experience reduced trade and economic harm. Tariffs are often used as a protectionist measure to shield domestic industries from foreign competition. Industries facing challenges from cheaper imports may lobby for tariff protection. By making imports more expensive, tariffs can help domestic producers compete on price and potentially gain market share. However, this protection can come at a cost. While tariffs may protect jobs in the short term, they can also lead to inefficiencies. Shielded from competition, domestic industries may lack the incentive to innovate and improve efficiency. This can result in higher prices and lower quality goods for consumers in the long run. Consumers in the crosshairs, the price of protection. While tariffs aim to protect domestic industries, consumers often bear the brunt of their impact. The most direct effect of tariffs is higher prices for imported goods. This increase in prices reduces consumer purchasing power. Moreover, tariffs can lead to higher prices for domestic goods. With reduced competition from imports, domestic producers may have less incentive to keep prices low. This can erode consumer welfare, particularly for essential goods. The distributional effects of tariffs can also be significant, often disproportionately impacting lower-income households who spend a larger portion of their income on goods. Tariffs have the potential to strain relations between countries. The imposition of tariffs can be perceived as a hostile act, leading to diplomatic tensions and trade disputes. Trade wars, triggered by escalating tariffs, can damage economic ties and disrupt global value chains. The World Trade Organization, or WTO, plays a crucial role in mitigating these tensions. It provides a framework for resolving trade disputes and encourages countries to lower trade barriers. However, the WTO's effectiveness in preventing tariff wars has been questioned in recent years, particularly as geopolitical tensions rise. The economic impacts of tariffs are complex and multifaceted. While tariffs can provide short-term benefits to specific industries, their overall effect on a country's economy is often negative. Tariffs can distort markets, leading to inefficiencies and reduced economic growth. Tariffs can contribute to inflation by raising the prices of imported goods. This can have broader implications for monetary policy and overall price stability. The impact of tariffs on employment is also complex. While they may protect jobs in certain industries, they can also lead to job losses in others. For instance, higher input costs due to tariffs can harm downstream industries. The use of tariffs is at the heart of the debate between protectionism and free trade. Proponents of free trade argue that open markets lead to greater efficiency, innovation, and consumer welfare. They advocate for reducing trade barriers, including tariffs, to promote global economic growth. Protectionists, on the other hand, argue that tariffs are necessary to protect domestic industries and jobs from foreign competition. They emphasize the importance of national self-sufficiency and the potential risks of over-reliance on global supply chains. The debate between these two perspectives is ongoing and often influenced by political and economic factors. The future of tariffs in shaping global trade remains uncertain. As nations grapple with economic challenges and shifting political landscapes, the role of tariffs continues to be a hotly debated topic. The rise of globalization and trade agreements like the WTO led to a significant reduction in tariffs over the past few decades. These agreements facilitated smoother and more efficient trade between countries, fostering economic growth and interdependence. However, recent years have witnessed a resurgence of protectionist sentiments and an increase in tariff barriers. This shift is often driven by concerns over job losses, unfair trade practices, and the desire to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. Balancing the benefits of free trade with the pressures of domestic protectionism presents a significant challenge for policymakers. They must navigate the complex terrain of international relations, economic interests, and public opinion to formulate policies that promote both global cooperation and national prosperity. The use of tariffs in the future will likely depend on factors such as the global economic climate, geopolitical tensions, and the evolving nature of international trade relations. As the world becomes more interconnected, the impact of tariffs on global supply chains and economic stability cannot be underestimated. Finding a sustainable path forward will require careful consideration of the complex interplay between tariffs, trade, and economic well-being. Policymakers, economists, and industry leaders must work together to develop strategies that balance the need for economic growth with the protection of domestic interests, ensuring a stable and prosperous future for all.